All right. We're back again. It's been literally like 2 or 3 weeks. It feels like it's been forever since we've had a One Piece chapter. For me recording, it's the 17th of January 2025. So happy New Year's to everybody out there. Happy holidays. I hope everybody's New Year is coming in great. I hope everybody's 2024 ended well. We ended on a pretty good chapter of One Piece. As I said, if you ended up seeing, or I guess if somebody were to go back and see the first video I put up, my first review of chapter 1135, I didn't know how to use OBS, so it looked really ridiculous. But I wanted to post it anyways because I wanted to make a point to start getting one of these out every single time a chapter comes out, because you got to start somewhere with producing content in the channel. And if I never put it up, I'm never going to get started. So that gave me the influence to figure out how to work OBS. My brother came in very clutch, Jason. He helped me out, and he figured out how to work it with the YouTube video and sent me that. And with that, I've got it pretty much set up. So I got an idea of how to work OBS. So in the background, you should be seeing my favorite panel of my GOAT from last chapter. I think I'm either going to continue to go with some of my favorite characters in the background, maybe my favorite characters of the arc, or maybe I'll just do my favorite panel from the prior chapter as my background for every review. So for this one, it's clearly Ridley. Ridley is the GOAT in Wano right now, or not Wano, rather Elbaf. She is now one of my favorite One Piece females, just based on she's an attractive giant woman. She seems awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing who her man who would have been her husband would have been, who she had colon with. Goodness knows. Anyways, though, let's get into the chapter. So it's One Piece chapter 1136, titled The Country That Awaits the Sun. Last chapter ended, all in all, I think, with us meeting the old giant. I think Jarl is his name. And him coming up and Luffy going, there's a sword in your head. So we're probably going to get that gag or that story here this chapter. We saw the Shanks lookalike and the Lilith kind of lookalike person show up in the castle, where they actually started, I think, attacking giants in the last one. And we saw the library, and that was about it, I think. We got to see my GOAT Ridley. So let's see what we get this chapter. I'm hoping we see more Ridley. I'm hoping we figure out the sword thing with the giants, going through the giants' helmet, or just stabbing in it, whatever it is. Maybe we'll get to see some Loki, since it's been a while. We'll get to see a panel or two of Loki, and maybe we'll get to see the Shanks lookalike and the other God Snyder, whoever they are. But I wouldn't bank on that too much. Oda, in my experience, he likes to show stuff like this for a little bit and then let it sit off in the background for a little while he does some other chapters and explores some other plot points, and then when he drops that back on, it typically is another big like bang. It's another big reveal. So, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get some of that. I'm hoping for more Ridley. So let's get into it. Chapter 1136, The Country That Awaits the Sun. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 22. We're still going strong. A mysterious hidden base in Udon? Question mark. And this is Speed, who has Tama with her. I can't really see Tama in this panel. It looks like Speed has something on her back. I don't know if it's the way it's drawn. I can't tell what this thing is unless that's Otama hiding under like something there, like under a cloak or something. Hold'em's beat up. They've got him tied up, and it's Yamato, Speed, I'm assuming Tama, and we got the Komainu, and they're pulling up to a hidden base that looks like page 1. It's got his head on it, like his like figurehead for the top of the base. So I'm assuming page 1's still running around here. We're probably going to get some more information on him, maybe more relation to the Joy Boy fruit or the Nika fruit, or we'll see. Page 1 was not my favorite. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I can get flagged or anything for saying the word racist, but that dude's a freaking racist, man. Like, the whole time he was fighting Jinbei, he was talking so much trash. I could not stand him. Oda's notes: I went to Miyako Jima over New Year's and chilled out with some karage champuru. I think that's karage, I think is a food. Champuru I thought was beer. No, because then it says a non-alcoholic beer. Good for you, Oda. Living it up like it's already summer. What a goat. Alright, let's into the chapter. Luffy, it's so tasty. These moose remind me of dinosaur meat. Probably because they're big like dinosaurs. Even the meat is huge. And then this is Jarl. They're quite tricky to catch, as ferocious as they are delicious. No task is too great if it's for one's savior. No task is too great if it's for yourself to savor either. If it's something that great, then there's no task too great. Also, I'm sorry for the interruption. This is my boy Glob. He's apparently in a playful mood right now. So he wants to play fetch. So I'm going to chuck this every time he gets up here. And we'll just, keep it going. Anyways, back to him. I appreciate it, Haradine and Stanson, says Luffy as he's eating the moose meat. Glad you like it. And then we cut back to Jarl. It's rare for humans to make it all the way to the Sun Realm. Most confuse the underworld for Elbaf proper and flee before they find their way up here. Listen up. The Mighty Oars was a... Alright, I'm sorry, I had to cut off. That's a little interesting. Listen up. The Mighty Oars was a warrior, legendary even to you giants. He'd tower over any of you 3 times over. And guess who finally finished him? That's right. It was me! Woo! Way to go, Captain Usopp. I'm sorry, I might have peeked my mic there. Like Usopp the goat, I guess. He's literally portraying himself to be the goat to everybody. I love it. Wow, your skin really is blue. Here we go with this nonsense. You should see Fishman Island. There's as many skin tones as there are fish in the sea. I've always wanted to see a mermaid. No shame in that. They're a sight to behold. Mermaid Cove is more enticing than heaven itself, says Sanji. That's my goat, Sanji. I like that. Whoa, that said, my heart soars just as much when I see you giant ladies. Oh, Sanji-kun, you're really so silly. It's cute. And I'm with Sanji. Woohoo, beauties everywhere. Everywhere I look, I'm getting buried in babes. I love it, Sanji. And who are you? Who, me? I can answer with my own blues. My what the heck am I, Diddy? Yeah, I guess it's a big wide world out there. Let's toast to it. I'm surprised so many giants have never gone out to sea, says Zoro. Yeah, says Nami. I kind of assumed they were all pirates. Yeah, that's the guy that we beat up. What's his name? The one who trapped our Straw Hats at the start of the arc. I can't think of his name. Nami Tasso, I wanna apologize to you and this other Straw Hat about before. And apologize to Zoro. How kind. He ain't gonna be forgiven that easily, but beating a proper apology out of him was the least we could do. Gerd Tasso's sadistic side really makes my heart flutter, is what he's thinking. He's a little simp like Sanji. Don't sweat it. It's not like anyone died, said Zoro. Although, that's only because Usopp stopped me. ... If he didn't... ... It would have been your head! As he's doing this little sneer, and the dude's like pissing himself. Rodo. Oh, Road, that's his name. Don't tell me you picked a fight without checking their bounty, or their current bounties. You never stood a chance. Don't hold back next time, says Gerd. Gerd! She's so harsh. I can't get enough. Come on, everyone born here on Elbaf shares the same dream, to become the next sun god and rule the world. Interesting. Sun god, says Zoro. Are you kidding me? The sun god isn't a ruler. That's right. He's the god of liberation. More like destruction. You're wrong. Everyone knows he was the god of laughter. I'm with the god of laughter and liberation, and that he's not a ruler. It's getting rowdy. What's this about a god? ... The sacred Harley text. Harley. I hope that is not the official translation, because I hope somebody memes that into being for the Harley bikes. Have been passed down for generations in Elbaf. The legends are written in an archaic language, so there have been countless interpretations. No one can say for sure which translation is accurate, and this is the result. According to the Harley text, the world has already been destroyed twice before. We were thinking once. I'm sorry. They're saying twice. That might have been a little loud. I'm not sure if I peaked my mic. And the name of Sun God Nika is invoked after each instance. So, the world's destroyed, Nika. The world's destroyed, Nika. But the world's not going to get destroyed this time. The world is saved. And again, Nika. Oh, dude, this art style on this looks awesome in this next panel. Who can say if he was the world's savior or the great destroyer who brought it crashing down? All we know for sure is that he heralds great change. That's why the rulers of the day always tend to fear Nika's return. Nika. That's the guy Bonnie mentioned. ... Yes, the sun god has become a symbol. Someone the hopeless and desperate turn to for salvation. They say Nika is adorned by white clouds, with white hair and white clothes to boot, and he is said to have a contagious, booming laugh. No wonder everyone's been saying I look similar. But I'm sure he's got nothing to do with me, says Luffy. My cats are being crazy. Don't be so dismissive, Straw Hat. You'd understand if you were born on Elbaf. We all look up to Nika. Not to defend Rodo, but he wasn't lying about us all sharing the same dream. Loki was the same. I believe his motive for Harald's murder was the attempt to follow in Nika's footsteps. Nothing can justify what he did, Elder. Loki. So he's a good guy? No way in hell, say all the giants. He's the accursed prince. There was a prophecy before Loki was born that foretold that King Harald would be slain by his son. Then shortly after his birth, the royal steed, the Horse of Fortune, died. That was the same year that Lenlin murdered the legendary hero Jarl. And the tragedies kept coming. A year later, the queen herself passed on. The princeling would go on to use his natural strength to make the realm of the dead his own personal playground. He killed many of those ferocious beasts and tamed the rest. He even released a few into the villages. And that was all by the age of 10. So we're giving him an Odin-type backstory. He was an arsonist. Loki's mischief endangered countless lives. He had the authority of a prince and a malicious personality. He caused hell wherever or whenever the king wasn't looking. And then there's a thinking for Jinbei. Then finally, in that very castle, Loki killed King Harald, the greatest monarch Elbaf ever knew. A splendid wise man who tried to connect with the outside world, to get people to see beyond Elbaf's feared reputation as a land of warriors. Lord Jarl was stabbed trying to stop Loki. Oh, so that's where the sword came from. My helmet saved me in the end. It didn't save anything. Loki's reign of terror finally came to an end 6 years ago. He was running amok at sea when Red Hair captured him. Shanks? Shanks really came here? Yeah, in fact, he was just here earlier. I'm not sure where he went off to, though. And then Zoro's thinking again. Village outskirts. I thought you were acting weirdly on edge earlier. That explains it. You realize he's a reviled Kingslayer, right? Is this Luffy talking to Zoro? Because Zoro seems to be the one on edge. That explains it. You realize he's a reviled Kingslayer, right? Everything he told you was obviously just a lie. He said he knew where Shanks was. Do you have any idea how badly I want to see him again? Yes, I've heard about it 1,000 times. Sounds to me like he's using that to trick you. How would you know? You've never met Loki yourself. I haven't. I'm just guessing based on his reputation. I'll tell you everything I know. This is Loki. That includes Red-Haired's current whereabouts. If that was really a lie, I'm going to send him flying. If you're sneaking off to do what I think you are, this is Nami. Did you seriously expect to find your way there without me? Listen up, Luffy. We'll get the key, but if he pulls anything funny, we'll have to take care of him. Got it. Thanks. But why is this guy here? He's my new slave. I am truly blessed. Don't forget, I'm her #1 slave, and Sanji's #2. Wow, so that's Zeus. I am the #1 slave. Doofufu, strong girls really get my blood pumping. He's a simp. He's been struck by lightning, literally. Namitaso, isn't it neat how we're both navigators? Don't ever try to get too close to me again. Yes, ma'am. It feels wrong for the guest of honor to bail so early. Shishi, don't worry. I brought some meat. Have you tried this moose? They're all in a drunken stupor now. They probably can't remember what they're celebrating. Say, if all the treasure in the castle suddenly disappeared, would that be a problem, Roto? My vision is awful, so I'm sure I wouldn't even notice. You had this in mind since the beginning, didn't you, Nami? Huh? Your eyes. Doga, haha. So that's what it is. Doga, ha 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 ha. I'm guessing this is Loki, back in the realm of the dead. If I understood you correctly, then I'm afraid I'll have to step back and refuse your offer. We knew it. They're going to Loki. I'm sure it's an honor to be invited to join your noble knights, but that would make you celestial dragons, right? Do you really expect anyone on the planet to willingly become scum like that? Do we have any intel? All the informants we sent to Elbaf reported a giant crow heading for them before their transmissions got cut off. Their weakness is beyond belief. I'm done just standing by and listening. This is the definition of impertinence. Oh god, she's very attractive. God's Knight Gunko. Whatever her fruit is, she controls arrows. I'm guessing that's how she shot the giants before. I won't let it stand, she said. Don't be hasty, Gunko. Grrr, a big old wolf comes out. Doga, haha, eat him up, wolf. Hey, stay back if you want to keep breathing. And, yep, she does something crazy. It wraps up the wolf, huh? Hey, wolf. And it looks like she's choking it. Oh, gack. Wolf. If we were to spare him, would you change your mind then? Aw, that's his friend. That dog's his friend. Would you change your mind then? Grrr. So that's how you operate, huh? What if that was your offer? Well, if that was your offer, I'd accept my friend's fate and wish him peace in death. It's okay to grieve and rage, but a warrior never kicks and screams in the face of death. Wow, Loki's cold. I love this guy. I'd accept my friend's fate and wish him peace in death. It's okay to grieve and rage, but a warrior never kicks and screams in the face of death. Ooh. I'll swallow all my fury and use it to fuel me when I reduce this world to rubble. A proud proclamation. Wonder if the wolf's gonna die. And that's the end of the chapter. So that panel's lit at the end. It really, all this stuff with Loki, and this is pretty much confirming to us that odds are Shanks is a that this is not Shanks. Again, they covered his eye where it would have been, but I'm pretty certain that he's implying that he's also a God's Knight. So Shanks' twin, almost certainly confirmed. This Gunko chick is hot. I don't know what's up with her eye. We could all guess on her fruit. I'm going to go ahead and take two guesses, which are the obvious ones. It's either, it's pretty obviously either a paramecia, or it's going to be another, mythical zone, right? I don't know of any mythological beast that has arrows that it controls, like its body turning to arrows and stuff. Really cool, though. I like her character design. She's very attractive. She's like a cool-looking koala kind of character. Cool eye, good fit. Loki's still the GOAT. I like the Shanks look-alike, too. He just looks too much like Shanks, and without the scar and without him having any other characteristic to himself, he's a little boring. But still very cool. I like this whole setup down here with Loki and them inviting him to be a God's Knight, clearly, because he's really broken and they're trying to bolster their forces before anything goes crazy. He's telling them no. This is also, the whole thing with him clearly being friends with this wolf is making me think, they did say that he had trained some of the animals. I'm wondering if he killed any of them to begin with, and if he didn't just beat them and become stronger than them. Kind of train them how Luffy does, like on Ruskaina, right? And Loki just did the same thing, essentially, down there. And then he's maybe not such a bad guy. Maybe somebody else killed Harold, and he just got blamed for it, and he just decided it doesn't matter. I'll just take that and handle it myself. He does want to seem to end the world for whatever reason. He hates the whole world. Road, Nami, and the guys going to get the key. That's perfectly fine. I like Road being a simp. It's pretty funny. Zoro doing his vice captain thing, looking out for Luffy, paying attention, reading into the what he's been being told, not just getting absolutely drunk. Like, I love Zoro like this, because back in the day, this was still Zoro at Whiskey Peak. He was getting dumb drunk with Luffy and Nami. This might have been filler only. But then he took out all of... he was still perfectly fine. I think Nami was trying to do the same thing, but I think at one point Nami said that she did end up losing it. But he was still perfectly fine pretending to be knocked out, so that way when they all tried to come and take him, like assassinate the Straw Hats, or, take him in, he was ready. This is that same idea. Everybody's drinking, getting absolutely wasted, and he's certainly drinking and having a time too, but he's paying attention and, analyzing what everybody's saying, learning what they can. And this is clearly going to be the arc, well, obviously, but sooner than later, where we find out that Luffy is, in fact, and he's going to have to find out too, he is the sun god Nika. He does have the fruit that's based on the person who has come after the aftermath and all this, the Void Century and everything, the bringer of peace or destruction, however you want to think of him. That's got to get figured out. We see that the sword goes right through Buddy's head. Yeah, he's still alive, like we see it in a couple panels this time. It goes right through his head. Getting to hear about this Harley text is interesting. I'm waiting to hear more about that. Maybe when Robin will be there next time when we talk about it, we'll learn something there. The Zoro panel was cool. We didn't see my girl Ridley anywhere, but Usopp joking with the pirates was good. Yeah, overall it was a good chapter. I mean, I really don't have no gripes at all. Strong chapter for exposition and pushing the story forward for sure. It doesn't seem to appear that we're going back on a break, so we're going to get another good chapter coming out next too. If I had to speculate, we're probably going to get some more follow-up on the Loki stuff at some point and what's happening there. Maybe next chapter we'll find out that's not actually Shanks and that's the Shanks' twin, because we know that Loki has fought Shanks, and so he knows who Shanks is. So maybe, just maybe, he can just be like, so who are you anyways? Because you're clearly not Shanks. Right? And then we're going to figure out who he is. Maybe we'll hear more about this Harley text, or the more implication on, I guess, about it being found out sooner than later that Luffy is Nika. But more than likely, we're just going to end up in the castle looking for the keys, and we're going to come across the giants who got beaten up and be like, oh, something happened here. And then maybe we find out that the keys are already gone, and they're like, oh my goodness, we need to get down and see if they've already let out Loki. Maybe we need to tell other people, some of the other giants. Maybe we need to go get the other Straw Hats even, right? And then go from there. We'll see. Luffy seemed pretty confident that he could beat Loki if he needed to. So, and whatever fruit he may have that's been passed down through Elbaf for a long time, Luffy's literally got the Sun God fruit to turn into everybody's hero. That in of itself is going to let him beat everybody in Elbaf. There is not one of the people, none of these giants, there is not an enemy here. The enemy is going to be the world government. Loki is not going to be our enemy. He's getting made out to be like Odin, with the stories of him and all. So, anyways, like I was saying, great chapter. I'm looking forward to another one next week. We're going to hope we see Gerd. Let's all do that. Let's all hope. Pray to Oda. Goda, my goat, for, not Gerd, my bad, Ridley. For Ridley to appear in my next chapter. We need Ridley in 1137. We need her. We're going to pray to Goda for Ridley, okay? Alright, Ridley. Anyways, guys, I hope everybody has a good week. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good weekend. And we'll be back next time for another review of 1137. All right. Have a good one. Bye.